family reunion. This is our program for the noon hour for the 30th day of October, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us. Now let's take a look at our region's ag weather from north to south. Of course, we'll begin in the north. As we look in the northern portion of our Down on the Farm radio region today, going to be sunny, very few clouds, 68 the high, 44 the low. On Saturday, mostly sunny, 76 the high, 46 the low, a few more clouds. And then on Sunday, the 1st, 66 the high and 37 the low. Now, neighbor, about smack dab middle in our region, the weather's going to look like this. We started out cool this morning. We'll get up to 72 the high, 38 the low. Saturday, a few more clouds, 79 and 46. And then Sunday, 74 and 35. And neighbor, let's look down at the southern bottom portion of our region. Sunny and 73 to the high today, 44 the low tomorrow morning. Saturday the 31st, high of 81. Sunday morning's low 52. And Sunday the 1st, sunny, a high of 82 with a low Monday morning of 49. Neighbor, let's take a quick snapshot look at our commodities of ag interest, reminding you that it's just a picture of a price in time. Don't use it to make a trade. December corn, 396 3/4, down 1 3/4. January beans, 10.54, even money, up 3.5. December Kansas City wheat, down 4 3/4 at 5.37 3/4. December number 2 cotton, down 57, 69.25. December live cattle, down 2.5, 107.97. January feeder cattle up 42.50 at 131.75. December lean hogs up 87.50 at 66.50. November class 3 milk, down 3 at 23.31. December U.S. dollar index, down 112 points at 93.86. And your December West Texas Intermediate crude down 62 at 35.56. Neighbor, there's your commodities of ag interest.
This isn't what gets a cotton grower up. What gets a cotton grower up isn't made of plastic-covered electronics. It's made of heart, determination, the calling that doesn't need a buzzer. Because you know, early is the key to success. Stoneville Cotton knows too. It gets out of the ground earlier and establishes a healthy stand quicker, so it's less vulnerable to weeds, weather, and insects. For a stronger finish, own the early with Stoneville Cotton. BASF. We create chemistry. Always read and follow label directions.
Neighbor, now it's time for today's edition of Texas News and Views with my friend Tom Nicoletti. Tom, what are you speaking to us about today?
Cotton sustainability progress documented and verified. I'm Tom Nicoletti with Texas News and Views from the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. More details after these messages.
I'm a cotton farmer.
I'm BASF.
I'm made of grit, passion, and hands that never stop working.
I'm made of agronomics, innovation, and hands that never stop helping.
I believe cotton isn't a crop. It's a calling. I'm made to grow it.
Protect it.
I know this is important to my family.
Every family.
That's why I work harder.
Innovate better.
To make my cotton as good as it can be.
As protected as it can be.
I'm a cotton farmer.
I'm BASF.
We create chemistry.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
On our show again today is Ken Burton, the Programming Engagement and Enrollment Manager for the U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol. The ongoing Trust Protocol recruitment campaign is for farmers, mills and manufacturers, brands and retailers, plus merchants and cooperatives.
This program it's engaging the entire supply chain from field to fabric. And it starts with the grower again, where by he being a part of the program and documenting his practices, the data that's entered into our program will be aggregated and be available for the supply chain at the end, whether it's the manufacturers or the brands and retailers. They'll be able to recognize through this aggregated data how the U.S. growers have been continuously improving. There's no other group of producers in the world that has this much technology and this much data that can help validate impact claims by brands and retailers.
Is there a cost to join?
For the producers, there is absolutely no fee, no cost whatsoever. It's just a little time of theirs. I understand producers' time is critical for them, and but I can share with you that as they are enrolling in the program, there's a self-assessment that they have to take, which is 120 questions. They're defined standards, and as they're answering the questions, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes for them to complete that component of the program. There's a second area that they have to be part of, and that's the entering field-level data into the field-to-market field print calculator. And so they're entering a minimum of 10% of their cotton acreage into this calculator. That, too, takes a little time. It's probably about 20 to 25 minutes to input that field-level data.
Consumers are wanting more transparency when it comes to the products they purchase, including those made from cotton fiber. So the Trust Protocol documents and verifies each farmer's sustainability progress through a sophisticated data collection platform developed by Field to Market. Talk about Field to Market and how that will be part of this overall protocol nationwide.
Field to Market is a nonprofit organization based out of Washington, D.C. It's all about sustainable agricultural practices and again, teaching, reminding everyone about this continuous improvement message. And it involves many commodities, many crops that are involved in it. And Field to Market involves from growers all the way to retailers as well, and agribusinesses and academia. So it's a multi-stakeholder organization. We're enrolling producers as we speak. We have the goal for the 2020 season, which is being harvested now. We have the goal of 500 to 750 producers to be a part. It's easy to be a part. Just go to the website, www.trustuscotton.org. You have to enroll and then put in some contact information as well as a password, and then enter as a member and start the process.
That is Ken Burton with the U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol.
In Texas, there's pea-size hail and baseball-size hail. Guess which one hit our house? We didn't even know where to begin, but we called our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent, and he was so reassuring. He knew exactly what to do to get our house back into shape and our lives back to normal. Now, we're even more thankful for the roof over our heads.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to insure your home for Texas-size weather. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
This is Texas News and Views. I'm Tom Nicoletti with the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Neighbor, it is about time for Hop Sing to ladle out that jalapeno gravy all over that big old chicken fried steak on your plate. Don't forget to sop that gravy up with one of Nanny's East rolls and finish it off with a cool cucumber salad and a glass of iced tea and a visit with Jody Fry from Producers in Cargyle, San Angelo. Jody, how'd our Thursday sale go?
Well, it was pretty short today. Shortest sale we've had in quite a while. Of course, weather earlier in the week cut us down on numbers. About a third of the cattle that we've been seeing on a weekly basis. 535 head was today's total. Better market, though. Compared with last week's sale, better quality calves, calling those about $2 to $4 higher. Fairly lightly tested, but it just had a better feel to it, and it was definitely higher on the good calves we had on offer. Saw much improved demand for these slaughter cows and bulls. Slaughter cows, $3 to $5 higher. Slaughter bulls didn't have many of those on offer, but they were sure trying to sell higher. Not many bred cows and pairs to test that market today. Better quality steers, 400 to 600 pounds, from 115 up to a high of near 155, mostly 120 to 135. 600 to 800 pound steers from $1 to $1.25, mostly 105 to 115. Heifers, 400 to 600 pounds, from $1 to $1.25, mostly 110 to 120. Slaughter cows averaged high yielding from 44 to 56. Did have some of the highest yielding slaughter cows from 57 to 63. Had one outstanding slaughter cow that brought 66. Thinner or lower yielding type cows, still some of those anywhere from 28 to 42. Slaughter bulls, what few we had on offer today traded from 60 to 70 cents.
What do you know for next week?
Well, we'll bounce back from this. Calling for pretty weather over the weekend. We were light on Tuesday on our sheep and goat sale also. I look for those numbers to be back somewhere in that neighborhood of at least 5,000, maybe 6,000 head on Tuesday, and probably back in the neighborhood of 12 to 1,500 cattle next Thursday.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Jody Fry.
You bet. Try us there at the office, 325-653-3371, or you're welcome to call the mobile phone, 325-234-7895.
We appreciate you. Thank you a bunch.
Thank you, Larry.
I'm Larry Marble with Down on the Farm, and I'm on the line with Stephen from D&D Farm and Ranch. Stephen, there's lots of products at D&D, but you're responsible for a certain portion of them, aren't you?
Yes, sir, sure are. We've got, Larry, the largest stock of farm and ranch equipment in the entire state of Texas.
If folks want to come out and investigate all those products, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call us at 830-379-7340, extension 260, and ask for any of our sales associates.
Neighbor, when you hear cattle in the alleyway on a Friday, they're getting ready for a Saturday sale at Lexington Livestock Commission Company. Let's go to Russell Heller right now. I spoke with him about 8 a.m. this morning. Russell, what do you think that Saturday sale is going to be like?
Yes, sir. I know about 3 sets of calves. One's around 20, another one 30, and another one 35 or 40 head.
Good deal. Did you catch any moisture?
Yes, we did about a half-inch total through 2 little showers, but, it'll help.
Yep, freshen it up is what they used to say.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you for the Saturday sale.
Yes, sir. You can get me on my cell, and that number is 979-820-7002.
We appreciate you. Thank you. I'm on the line with Sam from D&D. Sam, what do you want to tell us about today?
Larry, right now we're having a sale, huge blowout sale of 2096 Stay Tough deer wire for only $359.
How long does the sale go on, Sam?
It's going to go on for the end of the month or while supplies last.
Tell everybody how to contact you at D&D.
You can contact one of our friendly staff members at 830-379-7340.
Neighbor, when you hear Milk Cow Blues on a Friday, it's time to head to Lockhart to talk to a little country ball of fire. Her name is Madison Bexley, and she's part of the management team and ownership team at Lockhart Livestock. They sell every Thursday. Maddie, tell us how that sale went.
With the weather the way it was, we actually ended up with more cattle than we expected. We had 796 head of cattle with 211 cows and 16 bulls, 114 sellers, and 68 buyers.
Let's walk the pens.
On the stocker cows, we got along real good on a good active market, especially on the good quality bred cows. The good pairs brought from 11 to 1350. The mediocre middle age from 7 to 975. The front end of the bred cows from 850 to 12 and a quarter. Mediocre and short breds from 500 to 775. The planter end and the longhorns from 250 to 475. The packer cows and bulls would have been 4 to 5 higher this week. The good high yielding cows from 53 to 66 and a half. The medium yielding from 44 to 52. The low yielding from 20 to 43. The good high yielding packer bulls from 82 to 89. Low and medium yielding from 62 to 81. The calf market was a good bit better yesterday with lots of demand. The futures moved up, and with lower numbers around because of the weather, it certainly helped. Most classes would have been 5 to 8 better on a good active market.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can always check us out on Facebook, or you can call the barn at 512-398-3476. My cell phone at 979-540-9793. Or you can ring Bubba at 512-461-6091.
Neighbor, I want to remind you about the South Texas Hereford Association's fall sale coming up Saturday, October the 31st at 12 p.m. at the Beeville Livestock Commission Company. The annual sale is going to be held there, and there will also be a broadcast online at liveauctions.tv for online bidding. Now, for more information on the program, or the 57 Hereford bulls, 20 Brahma bulls, or 250 Hereford or Brahma F1 females, or for videos of the consignments, call 361-920-0012 or go to www.southtexashereford.org. Again, that's South Texas Hereford Association's next fall sale, October the 31st at the Beeville Livestock Commission Company. Call Robbie at 361-920-0012 for details. Neighbor, the cowboy crew is finished eating, so I'm going to send them down to help Carl Herman begin to gather cattle for next Wednesday's sale at Caldwell Livestock Commission Company. Carl, I understand we started out with a cold morning, but it ended up with a hot sale.
Overall, it was a good sale. Had a lot of good cattle yesterday on a higher calf market and cow market for 61 consigners and 42 buyers. Yesterday morning, it was 40 degrees and misty rain, and it was pretty cold, so we're glad to have the numbers that we did. On the cows, slaughter cows, 100 slaughter cows and bulls yesterday. 30 to 57 on the cows, 61 to 89 on the slaughter bulls. Stocker cows, 500 to 900, and we really didn't have a lot to choose from. And the pairs, no pairs. On the calves, on the steer side, 2 to 3 weight steers brought 125 to 147. 3 to 4 weights, 130 to 160. 4 to 5 weights, 125 to 167. 5 to 6 weights, 115 to 140. 6 to 7 weight steers, 110 to 122, and the 7 to 8 weights, 95 to $1.47. On the heifers, 2 to 3 weights, 111 to 147. 3 to 4 weights, 114 to 131. 4 to 5 weight heifers brought 111 to 132. 5 to 6 weights, $1 to $1.23. 6 to 7 weight heifers, $1 to $1.35, and the 7 to 8 weights, 96 to $1. So overall, the market was trending up yesterday, and we had a lot of good cattle to go with it. Cows were higher by a good bit, so we're glad for that.
Carl, tell everyone about the special sale coming in November.
Our special is November the 14th on Saturday. We start at 1 o'clock. We've got close to 700 head consigned, lots of good Brayford, Brangus, and crossbred pairs. Same way with the bred cattle. Got lots of Brayford cattle consigned this year. Probably about 150 of them bred Brayford young cows and heifers. Also got a really good selection of good Brayford and Brangus Baldy open heifers. A lot of them will be really good for these 4-H and FFA projects for the fairs around. So have any questions, give me a call. My number is 979-820-5349. Call the barn, 567-4119. If you're in the Giddings area, call Max Ebner at 540-8676.
Carl, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Neighbor, many of us love getting into the outdoors and hunting. I have not ever gotten to hunt quail, but I understand it's lots of fun. And it's great to manage the wildlife, including quail, on your property. Today on Texas Wildlife Radio, we speak about the quail population in Texas. Jessica Dummel is at the mic. Jessica, explain.
Quail populations in parts of Texas are lower this year due to drought, the amount of suitable habitat, and other factors. For more on this year's quail season outlook and where you can find which types of quail, we are joined by John McLaughlin, West Texas Quail Program Leader for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department.
Certainly the two most abundant quail in the state, species in the state, are northern bobwhites and scaled quail. And so in terms of range expansion or contraction, we've generally seen over the last 30 to 40 years is that bobwhite has slowly been pushed out of East Texas. So there's been kind of a shifting line of where we see bobwhites. You don't see many bobwhites east of I-35 anymore. We do see bobwhites pushing out west a little bit farther as some of the brush encroaches into that high plains, that short grasslands area. But in terms of moving north and south, we're pretty well covered up from South Texas all the way across the Red River into Oklahoma. And there are some birds in North Texas outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but those populations tend to be smaller. In terms of scale quail populations, with that brush encroachment that's been happening in western Texas, we've seen actually their range contract a little bit from east to west. And then down in South Texas, we have another subspecies of scale quail called the chestnut-bellied scale quail. And we've seen declines in their populations over time, and that's just a result of changing land use, changing habitat conditions over time.
Quail hunting season in Texas kicks off Saturday and runs through February 28th. There's a daily bag limit of 15 birds and a possession limit of 45 birds. We'll have more on this year's quail season with John McLaughlin from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department on the next Texas Wildlife Radio Show.
Where has the Pioneer Audio Tour taken me today? I'll give you a hint. In my left hand, I'm holding a clump of soil. And its color? Red. I'm at Pioneer's R&D Center in Union City, Tennessee. It's the middle of July and it's 98 degrees. I'm here to talk about the corn revolution, Pioneer's advances in genetics, breeding, technology, and testing. Now, normally when you think of corn, you think Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, Kansas, the usual suspects. But Pioneer knows red dirt as well as black, with research centers, test plots, breeders, and agronomists outside what we traditionally think of as the Corn Belt. This way, Pioneer can develop local products for local farms wherever they are. The R&D Center in Union City, Tennessee. Another place that makes Pioneer, Pioneer. You'll hear more from me later. For now, let your local Pioneer sales representative hear from you.
For the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network, I'm Jessica Domel.
Neighbor, let's take a look at the last grain report that John Tuggle sent us. Call 800-288-4453. Milo through Corpus in October, D's plus 220, 1136. We'll call Progresso 1050. Yellow corn through Corpus in October, D's plus 4456. We'll call Progresso 870. Number one hard red winter wheat through Corpus in October, D's plus 75, 624 and a quarter. And we'll call number one beans through Houston, October, November delivery, November less 15, 1067 and three quarters. Neighbor, looks like we moved 610 bale of West Texas, 40 bale of East Texas cotton, 6432 to 6707. That's it for Down on the Farm. I'm Larry Marble, and you're my neighbor. Neighbor, make it a grand Friday and a good